Welcome to the 2021 Bloomberg New Economy Forum. It is really great to have such an extraordinary group together in person here in Singapore. We have more than 325 leaders in government and that have made business, that have made trips from all over the world, from 40 different countries. And to all of you, to our official partners whose names you see on the screens, and to our many friends and partners tuning in from around the world, thank you very much for joining all of us. At the start, let me thank the chairs of our New Economy Forum Advisory Board, Henry Kissinger, who's joining us by video, and Hank Paulson, who's joining us by sitting right there. Thank you for your continued leadership, Hank and Henry. Let me also express our sincere gratitude to Prime Minister Lee and the people of Singapore for their generous hospitality. This has been one of the most dynamic and innovative countries in the world, and this event wouldn't have happened without the close cooperation and partnership of the Prime Minister and his team. They have been very gracious hosts, and I want to encourage everyone to be very gracious guests and continue to abide by the regulations on mask wearing and social distancing. Our hosts are really very serious about that, and we are determined to help them. They're really trying to do the right thing to protect all of us and the citizens of their country. So we're glad to be here together, and I want to thank everyone for respectfully following the rules. I will say, when I go up the stairs and halfway up I take off my masks, I realize just how little oxygen you get through them. But nevertheless, at least I feel safe, and you should too, as should your families. We have gathered here on this beautiful island of Sentosa, and having visited this over the years, I have learned enough Malay to know that the name translates to peace and tranquility. How much else I know in Malay, you can imagine. As our opening video reminded us, that's quite a contrast to the world that we are living in today, and right here there is peace and tranquility. Every year we come together for the forum to bridge divides between governments and businesses and get more leaders with different perspectives talking face-to-face or video-to-video, as it happens to be. And as COVID continues to shine a spotlight on the world's disparities, our work is to build strong partnerships from east to west and take on with even greater urgency and importance the battle against something that literally could destroy the world that we live in. Later in the program, we're going to show another video. In it, you will see that we posed a question to friends who couldn't be here. The question was, what one change does the world need to see coming out of this COVID-19 pandemic? And we think you'll find it fascinating, the variety of answers that we got to the question. There are plenty, but one answer to that question is something that I stressed at the UN Climate Summit in Scotland earlier this month. When it comes to reducing emissions, we know what we need to do. And in fact, some of us are already doing it, but we're not doing it fast enough, and not everybody is doing it. At the summit, we saw governments reach a much-needed deal. It was especially encouraging to see the U.S. and China find some common ground, and more countries, including India, committed to more ambitious goals and energy and clean energy. We also saw cities and states and businesses, foundations and financial institutions step up and raise the bar on what we can achieve. But as we all know, commitments are words, and we need action. Action that can be measured, action that can be qualified, action that can become publicly reported, and action that will save lives. There are people out there every day dying, lots of people, tens of thousands of people. And we're sitting here. Let's make sure we do something to get the right ideas and then turn them into action. To phase out coal and to make an enormous difference in the levels of investment in clean energy, we need to win the battle against climate change from both the public and private sectors, and we have to work hand in hand like never before. So I don't think this forum could come at a better time. The first gathering of global business leaders since the UN's meeting in Glasgow is really a great opportunity for us to build on the momentum coming out of Scotland. And we have an extraordinary group here to do it. Leaders from many of the world's largest investors are here, including banks and asset managers and sovereign wealth funds, along with ministers from Asia, in Africa, Europe, and North and South America. And we can learn from each other, and a lot of the work that we do, we have to do together. I'm looking forward to the discussions on the main stage and to get some of the workshops also where a lot of the real practical work gets done. My foundation, I'm happy to say, has worked very hard with the Sierra Club to close coal-fired power plants in the United States. So far, in the last half a dozen years, we've closed 65% of all of the coal-fired power plants in America. They're either closed or in the process of shutting down. So we've really made a difference. We've also expanded the efforts in Europe, and 50% of the coal-fired power plants are either closed or in the process of closing. If the private sector can do that, you would think governments could do a lot more. And so that's one of the things we have to take away from here. Go back and tell our governments we're just not going to let them off the hook. And the time for just talk has come and it's gone. What makes this convention so successful each year is your active participation. So I want to thank you for your continued commitment. Peace and tranquility will always be the ideas that we aspire to, ideals that we aspire to, and they will become real only through the types of partnerships and actions that we forge together here at the Forum. Today we're going to hear from a number of leaders, including one we are honored to have join us once again this year at the Bloomberg New Economy Forum. That is somebody that you will know and know about. We met nearly 20 years ago when he was the mayor of Beijing and I was the mayor of New York City. And like all effective mayors, he was a problem solver and led his city through the SARS epidemic and its economic impacts. And now on the world stage, he is an influential diplomat, and we are grateful that he could address the forum at this critical moment. But first, before we hear from the Vice President of China, Wang Qishan, let me welcome his one-time counterpart in government and his longtime friend and mine. This gentleman is one of the forum's advisory board co-chairs and a founding member of the board of Bloomberg Philanthropies, and we are fortunate to have his the benefit of his extraordinary experience and insights. Hank, thank you. As they say, the podium and the video this year are yours.